My name is Monica. If you're new today, and if you're not new today, hi, welcome back. Let's get ourselves settled. There's about a minute left, so I have some blocks here with me, just in case I feel like I want to bring the floor closer to me. You can do that if you want. If you don't have blocks, you can always use a rolled up blanket, or even a rolled up towel works really nicely. It's a little more dense. I have a blanket that I'm sitting on. You could sit on a pillow or a folded up blanket. If you'd like a strap, you can have a strap with you. If you don't have straps, you can use a scarf or a handkerchief or a tie or a belt or anything that'll just give you a little bit of extra reach. And I just like to have everything next to me. So even if I think I might not use it, it's good to just have it there so I don't have to search for it in the middle of class. So let's start by finding a comfortable seat together. And finding this seat might take a moment. So maybe it's sitting with your legs crossed. Maybe it's sitting with your feet flat, knees bent, and using your arms to help you sit up a little bit taller. Maybe today you'd prefer to sit in a chair or on something a little bit higher, just for the meditation portion of class, about 5 minutes or so. So you find what feels good for you. And let's all meet in this comfortable seat, whatever version of it you're taking today. Dropping into the breath, letting go of your day so far, letting go of getting here, maybe letting go of the week, and dropping in. So noticing the inhales, noticing the exhales, and starting to tap into the body a little bit more. Maybe you've been running around today. Maybe you've been in meetings all day long or taking care of things in your home or outside of your home. And if you can, see if you can just come home to the body for a second, reminding yourself that you're here in this body, that you're here with this breath. When you're inhaling, know that you're inhaling and do it on purpose. When you're exhaling, know that you're exhaling. Do it on purpose. And as you settle into this breath, knowing that this is the guiding force for your vinyasa practice, that riding the breath and moving with the breath is the force for that flow. So understanding that the more you become aware and connected to the rhythm, to your own rhythm of breath, that the more deeply you can enter into this practice of movement. So go ahead and exhale everything out of the body. Take a deep inhale, fill up. And then open your mouth, let it go. One more time. Fill up something you're holding on to. Open your mouth, let it go. Let's inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going with your own breath at your own pace. Maybe you lengthen the count to 7 or 10, or you can leave it right at 5, closing the eyes if that feels good, or just having a soft downward gaze as you connect to this rhythm, this internal rhythm. Maybe the hands are on the backs of the knees or folded in the lap, wherever is comfortable. And seeing if with every inhale you can sit up just a little bit taller, even the back of the neck is long. And with every exhale, allowing your shoulder blades to kind of melt down the back. Letting the chin bow slightly toward the heart. Letting the heart rise a little bit toward the chin. And finding this long spine, this open breath, this expansive space. And trying to cultivate this long, even breath throughout your practice, Slowly letting the eyes open, maybe open them really wide, blinking a couple of times just to bring some moisture back to the eyes. Maybe you look over the right shoulder as far as you can, feeling the stretch in the side of the neck. Looking over the left shoulder, feeling the stretch on the opposite side. Maybe dropping the right ear to the right shoulder, taking an inhale. And as you exhale, kind of nod and then roll the chin toward the chest. Eventually bringing the left ear to the left shoulder, inhaling there. Nod, exhale, roll. And you can make the shapes as big or as little as you want. If this is painful, make smaller shapes or just do something totally different with your neck if this is super painful for you. Letting the shoulders melt down as you make these movements, maybe even bringing the fingertips to the floor. That feels better. And then just kind of starting to get into a free flow here with the neck, letting the movement guide you, letting the breath guide what feels natural. Maybe the movement changes a little bit from where you started, letting it be fluid and gentle. And then maybe you start to move into the torso a little bit, maybe shifting the weight side to side, bringing the fingertips out to one side, out to the other side, supporting your movements. Maybe you walk the hands out in a big circle and then back the other way. Feeling grounded into the floor, maybe bringing the fingertips behind you, pressing up so you can reach the heart up, and then coming back center. Inhale, reach the shoulders forward and up, and as you exhale, circle them back. And you can make these movements as small or as big as you want. Maybe you get the elbows into it. Maybe you reach the arms, if that feels good. If this feels really tender in the shoulders, you can bring the hands back to the shoulders and just rotate the elbows. And as you reach up and forward, lead with the thumb. And then when you bring it behind you, switch the hands, lead with the pinky. Inhale up with the thumb. Exhale back, pinkies face back. Nice. And then maybe shake it out here. And let's just do one arm. So take that right arm, inhale, reach it up and forward. And as you circle it back behind you, follow your thumb with your eyes and then bring it all the way down to the floor. Big circle. And then the left arm. Inhale up and forward. Exhale, circle it back, looking over the shoulder, twisting through the torso. One more time on each side. Inhale, right arm comes up. Exhale, circle back. Left arm. Inhale, taking your time with your own breath. Nice, and then shake it out. Shake out the wrists a little bit. Maybe make those figure eights for your meatballs with the interlaced fingers. Make some spaghetti here, some S shapes. Roll the wrists to toss the pasta sauce. And then go ahead and shake it out, Parmesan cheese. One more time. Interlace the fingers for meatballs. And then try to do the S shapes the opposite way. Whatever the harder way is. And then toss the pasta sauce, try to reverse it. I can't even remember which way we went. Parmesan cheese, shake it out. Inhale, reach the arms up nice and tall. Exhale, twist to the right. Bring the left hand on the right knee, right hand comes behind you. With every inhale, sit up nice and tall. And with every exhale, gently twisting through the belly button, then the chest, then the shoulders. Breathing here. Working this twist from the bottom up and just sort of feeling into the sides of the body and the back of the body. When you're ready, inhale, come up center, arms reach. Exhale, twist to the left. Right hand on the left knee, left hand behind you. Again, with every inhale, spine is long, even the back of the neck. And with every exhale, gentle twist. Let the shoulder blades melt down the back. Breathing here. as if there's two weights on the bottom points of the shoulder blades. Bringing them down so that the heart can raise up a little bit. When you're ready, inhale, come up center, arms reach nice and long. Exhale, forward fold. Spider crawl the fingertips away from you. Lift the wrist, tenting the fingers, and then press through those fingertips a lot. Inhale, come part way up with a flat back. And then exhale, forward fold. Let the head hang heavy. Keep pressing through those fingertips. And feel this stretch in the tops of the shoulders, maybe the triceps, or maybe even into the ribs and the back and the sides. On your next exhale, walk your hands back up to your seat. And then inhale, oh, sorry, switch which leg is on top or in front. You know the drill. One more forward fold. So inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Now you can walk those hands forward. This side might feel totally different. That's okay. And then let those hands be flat and pretend like you're really suction cupping those hands onto the mat. Inhale, reach that heart forward, like you're dragging the heart forward just an inch. Exhale, folding, letting the hip crease be soft if you can. On your next exhale, slow walk the hands back up to the seat. And then roll those shoulders back a couple more times. Waking up that shoulder girdle, warming up all the muscles to support the shoulders. And then when you're ready, let's plant the hands, uncross the ankles, make your way into a tabletop position. I'm gonna grab my blanket and put it over my mat as usual. If you've been here before, you know I like to pad my knees. So we're gonna come into this tabletop, hip is over the knee, shoulders over the wrist. If this hurts your wrist, turn your hands out to the sides a little bit or a lot, and really press through every knuckle of every finger to help support those wrists. And we'll move into some cat-cows. So on your inhale, drop your belly, look up, tail comes up, head comes up. On your exhale, press the floor away, round the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, looking up, tail comes up, head comes up. Exhale, press the floor away, really tuck the navel to the spine. Keep going with this movement. Maybe you keep with the cat-cows. Maybe you make some circles with the hip and the head. Maybe you tip the hip towards the head or make some S shapes. Whatever feels good, just kind of get into it and start to link the breath with the movement again. So as you inhale, extending, and as you exhale, contracting the muscles. Reaching and breathing here with this movement, finding your own rhythm and feeling good in the rhythm that you're finding. When you're ready, find a neutral spine here. And then we're gonna walk the hands way out in front. Let the heart melt down, tail comes up, extended puppy pose. So this one might feel a little bit different if you haven't done it or if you haven't done it in a while. Suction cup those hands in the mat again like you did before. And then let the weight be in the hips and the knees and the heels so that it almost feels like you're hanging off of some monkey bars. Let the heart melt down. Maybe your chin comes to the mat, maybe the forehead, maybe your head just hangs down, wherever it lands is fine. Breathing here. Seeing if you can feel into the space behind your heart. Deep breaths. Dropping into that Ujjayi breath, that whispering oceanic breath. And then when you're ready, slowly make your way back up, tabletop, and then maybe kind of shift side to side, just see how you're feeling. And then find that tabletop, nice and steady one more time. All right, inhale, reach that right leg out behind you. As you exhale, you're gonna bend your elbows, but make sure they're not coming out to the sides. You want the elbows pointing back, hugging onto the sides of the body, and you don't have to bend them down very far, just a little bit, and then inhale up. Exhale, bend the elbows, pointing back, not out to the sides. Inhale up, press through those hands. Last time, keep the belly button tucked to the spine. Inhale up, set it down. Ooh, warming up those shoulders and those arms. Other side. Inhale, left leg comes out to the back. Stomp that heel in the back wall like you're trying to kick the wall away. Take an inhale here. Exhale, bend the elbows. You don't have to come down as far as I am. You can come down as low as you want. Inhale up. Tuck the belly button to the spine. Exhale down. Inhale up. Last time, exhale down. Inhale up. Bring the foot down. Bring the knees wide, hips back. Child's pose. So maybe the knees are as wide as the mat, toes are touching. Maybe the shins are parallel, maybe the shins are touching. You find your perfect child's pose. Everyone's is gonna look different. See what works for you today. If this is too much on the knees, you can pad the knees. You can also bring a blanket underneath the thighs to kind of sit on to help the hips and the knees in this pose. Breathing here. Coming back to those inhales, back to those exhales. When you're ready, slowly make your way back up to that tabletop. All right. Inhale, reach that right leg out behind you. Tuck your toes at the back of the mat. We're going to come in for gate pose. So you're going to take this left foot that's on the ground that's bent, the shin, and you're going to swing it out behind you and inhale, reach that right arm up. You might have to rotate this bottom hand to get some more stability. So you can stay here, tuck your belly button to your spine. If you want, you can lift that back leg, flex the back foot. Breathing here, pressing through those supporting limbs. You can leave the foot down if that's too much, or you can lift it. Wherever you're at, you're doing great. Maybe you look down at your thumb on the floor for stability and balance. Take an inhale. Exhale, right arm circles over the head. Come back, tabletop. Notice how it feels from side to side. And then we'll work our way to the other side. Inhale, left leg comes out behind you. Tuck those toes. You're going to take that right shin, bring it out behind you. Left arm comes up. Other side. You might have to rotate this supporting hand here to be more comfortable for your wrist. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you lift that back leg. Flex the back foot. It'll help, I promise. Press through those supporting limbs. Press through the knuckles and the hands. Breathing here. Either you're up or the leg is down. No shame. Either way. Tuck the belly button to the spine. Take an inhale. Exhale, arm circles overhead. Come back. Tabletop. Sense into this. So if you're working towards side plank, if side plank is something that you're working on, gate pose is a great way to start building that core strength. All right, when you're ready, walk your hands out in front of you, maybe a step. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, and lift the hips. We're going to come into down dog, and I want you to do it slow. Slow and methodical. Keep the knees bent for a little while. Let yourself settle into this pose. Maybe you kind of get some knee bends. Maybe you walk it out. Press down through the forefinger and thumb. Spread the fingertips really wide, like almost wider than you think you need to. Maybe you step the hands out one step. And then wrap the upper arm bones out and down like you're trying to face the insides of your elbows to the sky. Breathing. So you'll feel that broadening across the shoulder blades. Maybe over time, you start to straighten the legs, but knees bent is totally fine for down dog. Heels lifted is totally fine. I'd rather your spine be straight and your arms up by your ears than have your legs straight and have you kind of hovering over and feeling really strained in those wrists. Take an inhale. Bend the knees, look up between the thumbs, tippy toe to the top of the mat. When you get there, hang heavy in a forward fold. We don't need to go anywhere just yet. So we're in this forward fold. Maybe you grab opposite elbows, sway side to side, keep those knees bent. And then maybe you let the hands hang down to the floor. Knees can be bent a lot, forever, for sure. And then keep that bend in the knees. Heel toe the feet about hips width distance apart. Press through those feet and slowly roll to stand. Taking your time. No rush. This is not a race to the top. We're breathing when you get here. Let's find Tadasana. So Make sure those feet are hips width distance apart, or maybe even like a hair wider. Lift all of your toes off the mat. And then without letting the arches fall, slowly lower one toe at a time. Feel that energy come up the shins. Lift the kneecaps by engaging the quads. And then bring your hands to your hips. Pretend that your pelvis is a bowl completely full of water. And if it tips forward, back, or side to side, the water is going to come spilling out. So for some of us, we need to drop the tailbone, tuck the navel to the spine. For others of us, it means lifting up out of the hips. So wherever you're at, trying to find that level pelvis. Let the heart rise, like there's a nice lift in the heart, and then let the arms spin open, palms face forward, hands hang down by the sides. Drop your chin just a little bit so it's parallel with the floor. And then maybe close your eyes if that feels good. Take a full body inhale. Open your mouth, let it go. One more time. Inhale, something you're holding on to. Open your mouth, let it go. Trust the earth to hold you. Trust your body to hold you here in this mountain pose. Strong, unmovable, unshakable. When you're ready, inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up, palms press. Exhale, dive down, forward fold, hinge at the hips. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins, half lift, flat back. And then on your exhale, plant the hands. We're going to step back, plank pose, our good old friend, plank pose. So in your plank pose, pressing through those hands, just like we do anytime we're on our hands. And then drop that tailbone to the heels, tuck the navel to the spine, push through the hands so that the upper back is a little bit round. Looking down at the thumbs. Take an inhale, exhale, press back. Down dog. Breathing here, maybe pedal it out. Wrapping those upper arm bones, finding that stability in the shoulder. Breathing here. Inhale, bend both knees, look up between the thumbs, and we're gonna hop to our seat. I cheated just a little bit, it's fine. You can cheat too. However you get there, you get there. Meet me in your seat. And you're gonna bring your knees up, feet flat out in front of you. And maybe you just kind of hang here. And if you're just starting to work on your core after a long break from core work, my main suggestion is to sit here and tuck your belly button to your spine and then sit up as straight as you can. And this will already be quite a workout. You don't think that it's a workout till you get here, but it can be. Like a zipper up the front of your body. If you want a little more than that, you can bring your hands behind your legs, and maybe you bring one shin up. Bring it parallel with the floor, and then reach through the ball of the foot. I like to call this Barbie toes. So you're gonna point the whole foot and then let the toes come up. Maybe you bring the other shin up, reach through the ball of the foot, keeping those shoulder blades drawn down the back, keeping that belly button pressed back towards the spine. You can stay here. You can maybe tap one toe down and the other just to test your balance. If you'd like a little more, you can bring the hands out by your sides, or you can straighten the legs, or you can keep it here, or you can keep it here, or you can tap, or you can just be at that first spot. You get to decide what's the best way for you to start to build confidence in this boat pose, in Navasana. Maybe it's here. Maybe you need a little movement, so you lean back, bring it forward. Lean back, bring it forward. But that's not for everybody. Maybe that hurts your back. Maybe you hug it in. Wherever you're at, bring it down. Take a deep breath. And then let it all go. Whether that felt like torture or felt great. Deep breath, inhale. And then open your mouth, let it go. When you're ready, come over those ankles. Make your way to down dog. Plant those hands. Tuck those toes. Find that down dog. Again, wrapping those arm bones out and down. This is the biggest secret I have for down dog. Pressing through the forefingers and thumbs a lot. Starting with those knees bent, and then over time, bringing the heels down. But I kind of like a lifted heel. Gives us something to work with. Breathing here. Take an inhale. Open your mouth, let it go. When you're ready, bring the knees down. Come to your seat for just a moment. Maybe you grab a block or a blanket to sit on. And breathe here. Maybe you make a little twist, looking over the shoulder, over the other shoulder. Maybe you lean over to one side, stretching the side body, finding what feels good for you in this moment. Maybe interlace the fingers behind you for a little back bend. Maybe shake it out. Just kind of finding some ease here in the seat. Breathing. When you're ready, you can remove that out from under you. Bring the legs out to the side and then out in front. Reach that right leg out. Tuck the left leg in. So we're coming in for Janusirsasana. So right leg's out, knees towards the sky, toes are towards the sky. Plant that right hand inside the right leg. Inhale, reach the left arm up. If you've been with me before, you know this is one of my favorite moves. Ground that left sits bone into the floor, reach those left fingertips towards the sky. Take an inhale, press that belly button to the spine, and as you exhale, gentle side fold. Maybe you come down a little bit, maybe you come down a lot. Wherever you're at, press that right arm into that right leg so you can steer that left elbow toward the ceiling. Maybe you look down at your fingers, maybe you look up at your elbow, maybe you let your head hang heavy. Totally up to you. Breathe in here. Reach towards that opposite top corner of the room. Reach, reach, reach. Take an inhale. Exhale, come on up. Turn your torso towards the extended leg. So that leg's out in front of you. Belly button is facing the toe. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, bring them down real close in front of you. Roll the shoulders back. And then walk the hands forward. Maybe you just grip the hands on the floor, roll the shoulders back, gently reach the heart forward. Maybe you take your left hand, bring it over your thigh or your calf or shin or your foot or anywhere you can reach except your knee, and then gently turn this left shoulder towards this right knee. Keeping that heart coming forward, reaching with the crown of the head so the chin is dropped. Breathing here into this hamstring stretch, into the side body, kind of turn. When you're ready, walk your hands out in front of you and fold here. Breathing. Using those hands again, roll those shoulders back, reach the heart towards the front of the mat, and really let the crown of the head lead the way. Deep breaths. As you're ready, slow walk the hands up to your seat, and then we're going to switch them out. Left leg comes out to the side. Left hand plants inside the left leg. Knees towards the sky, toes are towards the sky. Inhale, right arm comes up. Right sits bone is grounded. Right fingertips are reaching. Take an inhale. Press the belly button to the spine to protect the low back. Exhale, side fold. Breathing here. Maybe a little bit, maybe a lot. You find what's comfortable. As soon as you start to feel like you're turning toward the floor, back it up a little bit and press that left hand into that left leg so you can really steer that right elbow towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach towards that opposite corner of the room. Reach, 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 reach. And then on your exhale, come up to your seat. Turn that torso towards your extended leg. Belly button's facing your big toe. Inhale, reach those arms. Exhale, plant them really close in front of you. Roll the shoulders back and then walk the hands out. Keeping the spine nice and long. Reaching with the heart, reaching with the crown of the head. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you take that right hand, bring it over the thigh, shin, the foot, wherever is comfortable except your knee. Gently turning that right shoulder toward that left knee and breathing. Couple of deep breaths. When you're ready, slow walk the hands in front of you. You can keep them kind of close. Roll those shoulders back and reach that heart forward, leading the way with the crown of the head as you stretch and breathe into this hamstring. Keeping that spine nice and long. As soon as you start to feel like you're holding a beach ball in front of you, roll those shoulders back. Like there's two weights on the bottom of the shoulder blades. On your next exhale, walk the hands back up to the seat and then bring the soles of the feet together. Pull them in kind of close. If you get them in really close and you feel like you're kind of teetering to one side or the other, you can move them out a little bit further away. I'm going to turn towards the light so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so they're in close, but not so close that you're tipping over. Hang on to your ankles, roll those shoulders back. Sit up nice and tall, take an inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows, press the legs away, and maybe reaching that heart and the crown of the head forward. Now you might feel this in the inner thigh a lot, or if your low back is a little tight, you might feel it in the low back, maybe in the knees or the outsides or the insides of the thighs. Breathing here. Couple of deep breaths. You can put as little or as much pressure as feels good. So if you get not very far down, but you still feel the stretch, then great. Breathing here. So shoulder blades stay nice and pressed back still. So the back body is probably like working pretty hard and on fire by now. And then on your next exhale, press the hands up to the seat, move the legs further away, and so there's a diamond shape when you look down. Now you can round into it. So maybe you bring your fingertips gently to your toes or the tops of your feet. Maybe you walk your hands underneath your shins, and now you can kind of round that upper back. So letting the forehead melt down and turning in, noticing the breath here is a lot louder. Inhaling, know you're inhaling. Exhaling, know you're exhaling. So you're coming home to the breath. Let the head hang heavy. You don't need to do anything with the head. It doesn't need to be reaching. It doesn't need to be, striving. You can just let it hang down. Breathe. You might feel this more in the low back and in the glutes, in the backs of the hamstrings in the first pose. Breathing here. Closing the eyes if that feels good. When you're ready, slow walk the hands out and up to your seat. Bring the knees together and sit up one more time nice and tall. Maybe take a twist here by walking the knees in, holding onto the legs with one arm, reaching, looking over the shoulder. And then maybe switching out, hugging in the knees with the other arm, reaching the other arm behind you. Coming forward. And then scooting yourself forward on your mat. Make sure there's enough room behind you. And then make sure you have something with you, whether it's a block or you can take a rolled up blanket. I'll show you how I roll up my blanket. This is a smaller blanket. So I'd roll it up kind of like a burrito or like an enchilada. So it's flatter than it is round. And you can use this instead of the block for our next pose. So I'll just have this handy, block or blanket. And make sure there's enough room behind you. Gently lay back, okay? So you can use your block or your blanket. I'm gonna use my block for ease of movement, but you can use whatever you want. And we're gonna place it underneath the sacrum. So I'm gonna keep my knees bent, feet are flat. I'm gonna press to the feet, lift my hips, and then slide this block underneath my sacrum. Your sacrum is the back of your pelvis, pretty much. It's higher than your butt and lower than your back, and you'll know you found it because it's kind of the flat part on your low back. It shouldn't be super painful or uncomfortable. It just should feel like a lift here, and maybe this feels good already. Maybe you reach the legs out long to stretch through the front of the thigh here. Maybe that hurts the back. Maybe soles of the feet are together. or you can bring the legs up long. So even if you're on your rolled up blanket, you're getting a little bit of that lift, and you're giving yourself a little bit of like a self adjustment here in the sacrum. I like to make circles with my legs. It's kind of like a self massage. Maybe you make some bicycle moves. Maybe you make some, what is that called when you're swimming? Egg beater legs for when you're treading water if you're a swimmer. Or any movement that feels good. It could be totally different. You could just let the legs be out to the sides, long. Soles of the feet could be together. This is a great lift for the low back. Also, if you're working towards shoulder stand and you're not quite there where you want to hop up yet, this is still gives the lift of the hips higher than the heart. So this could be your starting pose for your shoulder stand. When you feel like you've had enough, maybe you just come back to the starting position, knees bent, feet flat, maybe the arms are out by the sides, and just breathe here. And when you're ready to remove your prop, press through those feet again, lift the hips, slide it out, and then come to lay flat on your back for a few breaths here. Maybe you windshield wiper the legs side to side with the feet on the edges of the mat, just to kind of loosen the low back a little. And then you have time for some kind of a twist. So I'm going to do my favorite. You can do whatever kind of laying down twist feels good for you. Pressing through the feet, lift the hips, move them over to the right, and then let the knees fall out to the left. I might cross my top leg over my bottom leg. If you want to keep your legs stacked, you can put a blanket or a pillow in between your knees. Just try to keep those shoulder blades on the mat. That's the main thing, and letting the legs relax. So if they feel like they're working or they're jiggling or doing something weird, just put a blanket or a pillow up under there and then breathe. With every inhale, imagining the spine is getting nice and long. And with every exhale, allowing yourself to melt into the twist. Maybe you're looking over the right shoulder. Maybe you're looking up at the ceiling. Maybe your eyes are closed. Just mellowing out this nervous system. Breathing into this right side of the body as you twist. You can stay on this side as long as you want, and when you're ready, roll it back center and switch out sides. Hips over to the left, knees to the right. Whatever you did on the first side, repeat it on this side. Both shoulder blades are on the mat. Deep breaths. Breathing into this left side of the body, clearing it out. And then staying here as long as you like. When you're ready and you want to move towards Savasana, circle those knees back into the chest, give them a squeeze. Maybe you reach for the outside edge of the feet for happy baby. If you don't like happy baby, you can bring the soles of the feet together, hang onto the ankles, press the hips into the mat to neutralize the spine. And then making your way towards Savasana, taking rest. Maybe you reach the legs out long and the arms out long. Maybe you roll up a blanket or some pillows and put them underneath your knees. Maybe you drag your mat to the wall for legs up the wall or onto your belly, or take a seated meditative pose. Wherever you're at, please stay with us till the end so we can close out class together, letting the bones grow heavy, letting the breath return to its natural rhythm, allowing the awareness to drop back in space. Taking this sacred rest, this time for yourself. Breathing, inhaling, know you're inhaling. Exhaling, know you're exhaling. Slowly start to bring the breath back into your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to deepen your inhales and your exhales. Maybe you reach your arms up over your head for a long line stretch. Take a deep inhale, fill up. Open your mouth, let it go. One more time. Fill up anything you're holding on to. Open your mouth, let it go. Slowly bring the knees into your chest. Give them a squeeze. Maybe you make those circles. Massaging the low back. And then slowly rolling onto one side, making a pillow with your arm. Allowing your awareness to come back into the space. Taking this moment before you return to your day that's just yours. And then when you're ready, gently lengthening that top leg, pressing that top hand into the mat. Letting the head hang heavy as you make your way to your seat. And as you make your way to your seat, just notice what feels different, what feels the same. What's the tone and texture of the mind, the quality of the breath. And then all together as you inhale, reaching the arms far and wide and tall. And slowly as you exhale, bringing your hands to your heart. Bringing your attention to the space around your heart, all the way around, front, back, top, bottom, side to side. See if you can soften there. Bringing your hands to your forehead as a reminder of kind thought. To your lips as a reminder of kind speech. And to your heart as a reminder of kind intention. Bowing forward, acknowledging all of the teachers in our lives, seen and unseen, but especially the most important teacher, the inner teacher. It's always there to access. All we have to do is drop in. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming this evening, afternoon, evening, and sharing your practice with me. I hope you feel good. I hope we worked you out a little bit, got you a little warm, got you a little more movement in your practice.